So we've made it. We're finally here, the start of the Dinosaur Trail. We are just outside of Winton at the Age of the Dinosaur Museum. We're about to go in and see what it's all about and where it began. We're very excited and hope that you enjoy coming along with us. So, as I said before, here we are at the Australian Age of Dinosaurs Discovery Centre, and we were so fortunate. Like, it's just the start of the school holidays. We had no bookings of any description, came in, wanted to do all the tours, which takes us around the entire trail, which is about a 550 kilometre loop altogether. But there's several tours just here today, and the lovely people of this establishment managed to get us in to everything today, and to do the other tours tomorrow that we wanted to do. So we're absolutely thrilled to pieces that they were able to accommodate us at such short notice. It would have been really sad to come all this way and not be able to actually get into the main tours. So while we've been waiting, we've just had the most delicious lunch at the cafe here at the Discovery Centre as well. Really reasonable prices too, and really good varied souvenirs that you can get as well. So we're really pumped to go on these tours, and I'll do a little bit of videoing as we go through, as long as I'm permitted to do so. So we look forward to that as we find out that all around us COVID is creeping in again, and places are getting locked down left, right and centre. We've just learnt that Townsville is going to be locked down for the next 3 days, which was one of the destinations we were hoping to have time to go over to. So now we don't really know what our plan is after we finished around the Dinosaur Trail and the Mary Kathleen Mine that we want to go and see as well. So we'll just play it by ear as we've been doing and see what we can get done while we can. So I'm just going to turn you around and you can see the magnificent scenery that I'm also looking at. Ooh. Any questions? Sorry, could you just hold up that claw again, please, so I could get a closer look? Just to see, yes, how big it actually is. Yes, thank you.
It's not bigger than a casserole.
Just watch the foot on the other side. Andrew gets to eat them. Any questions? We actually, with Elliot, it's only one specific dinosaur, which isn't enough to give it a species. It's just a sort of rock. And that's a pretty cool.
One of the sauropods come around the edge there.
Yep.
And we've got one of them that comes also through the middle.
Oh.
This is essentially just broken, like tree and debris that's gotten caught up together and formed a natural dam. So we've got the leaves, like the branches through here, and as you come down further, if you come down a little bit further, I'll show you.
Yeah.
We've also got evidence about animals in this section too. So for example, burrows are another trace fossil, but we've got like burrows from these animals.
Oh wow.
There too.
Wow. Was that part of what was dug up and brought up here?
Yeah, they pretty much picked
all of it.
And moved it. It's all done by hand
That's
too.
incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh wow.
Alright, this originally comes from an area known as Snake
days, a couple nights, causing the rock to expand and contract, which causes those cracks. What happened is that 2016 rolled around and more of the creek got diverted because of floodwaters, and more of the footprints were revealed to the earth. Now, my infiltration, the managers of the property they were on, they knew something was there, but they didn't know what. And what they did is they went to the neighbouring property where museum staff were actually working on body fossils. They came over and went, guys, we've got something. We just don't know what it is. And museum staff came over and they identified the dinosaur footprints. Now, this is particularly interesting because this is the first time we found sauropod footprints in this half of Australia. The other ones are over in Peru. These are also some of the best preserved sauropod footprints on the planet. It's also the first time we've found those crocodile and those turtle traces in this part of Australia at this time period as well. So this area, like I said, was already going through those big variations in temperature, causing the cracks. It was also going through immense amounts of erosion. Can you guys see where this is all sand now? When we originally found this site, that sand through here between the rock was actually not there. It's originally rock, it's eroded away. This was a working cattle property as well at the time. Cows getting driven through here every day. On top of that, this area is filled with prickly acacia. And prickly acacia is quite destructive. So what we did is we had to weigh the options. You know, but as paleontologists, our job isn't just to find and interpret this stuff, it's to preserve it for as long as we possibly can.
This is the Dinasour Oil Gallery, featuring the Pterodactylus family exhibit. The pterosaurs in this gallery were modelled on a small form known as Pterodactylus. This is a small family group, as they may have appeared in real life 115 million years ago. They would have had small conical teeth, useful for grabbing small aquatic vertebrates or fish. This species lived in the late Jurassic period, in what is now Germany. In 2019, Ferrodraco lentini, a pterosaur found on a property in Winton, and the most complete pterosaur fossil from Australia, was scientifically described. This local pterosaur had a wingspan of about 4 meters and spike-shaped teeth, suggesting Ferrodraco was well suited to catching and eating fish. Just like birds today, Pterodactylus are thought to have traveled long distances and were perhaps even migratory. It is quite possible that the few pterosaurs found in Australia are related to other pterosaurs found elsewhere in the world.
Australian Age of Dinosaurs, and welcome to the laboratory. Everything out here kick-started in 1999 when a local landowner, David Elliott, was out mustering sheep one day and he accidentally discovered some dinosaur bones in the middle of his paddock. The most commonly asked question we get out here is, how did David know that what he had found was from a dinosaur? Here's one I prepared earlier. Now, this is a replica that some of you have already seen. The original bones are over in our collection room. This dinosaur was found in 2006. Her nickname is Matilda, and she's been named after Waltzing Matilda. This here is the thigh bone, and if you found that sitting in the middle of the paddock, your first thought would be dinosaur as well. The rest, as they say, is history. Now, by 2002, David and his wife Judy had found so many dinosaurs on their property, they decided to create their own museum. So that's how we were born. were originally operating out of their motorbike shed on their property 80 kilometres outside of town. And when they first opened, they had a bit of an open day, inviting all the neighbours, friends and family to come on out and have a look and see what their dinosaurs look like. Many of the bones they had found still retained their bone-like shape. However, there were a lot of bones that were heavily eroded and no longer looked like a bone. They just looked like a pretty rock, like Mick on the small table up the front here. What do you reckon, kids? Do you think that looks like a dinosaur bone? It looks like a rock, exactly. The only qualification that you need in order to do this program is your age. You must be 12 years old or older. That's it. So if anyone is interested in Prepper Dino, I have some information sheets handy.
We're here at Lark Quarry, part of the Dinosaur Trail. And I have to say, oh my God, we've just come out of the talk and the viewing of the only evidence perfectly preserved of a dinosaur stampede in the world. And wow, I have to say, for approximately 98 million years ago that this event happened, and standing over it and having a look at it was just absolutely spectacular. They've done a magnificent job of excavating the particular scene, and you'll see at the end of this that I'll pop in some photos of the actual whole exhibition and how they've done it and preserved it. It's just stunning and definitely not one to be missed if you're doing the Dinosaur Trail. That's Lark Quarry. That is about an hour and a half. It's partial dirt coming from Winton down to this part of the Dinosaur Trail. But just the surround, there's actually like 3 kilometre walks that they've also done in the surrounding areas of the jump ups that are with me that you can see all behind me. It's just the most beautiful countryside, but most definitely worth going in and seeing that stampede. Great job, guys, loved it.
Okay, so I did say we've got 3 different types of track makers that have left footprints in here. The smallest footprints you can see with those sharp toes. So what are these ones through here? They're all over the place. They're our little coelurosaurs. They're our little chicken-sized meat eaters. Got quite a nice little nithropod one there. So that is your larger, slightly larger 2-legged plant eater. We can see they've got blunt toes. The toes are more widely spaced as well. Most of the larger footprints you'll see in here will belong to those because they got bigger than our little chicken-sized meat eaters. Then of course we've got the biggest footprints, our predator. Have you spotted those ones yet? They do stand out quite well, don't they? There are 11 of them. I will light up a few of them so you can see where they go to.
Wow.
So there are 3 that aren't lit up. Number 1 is in the corner right below me here. Number 3 is between those 2 lights. Number 7 is actually that faint impression between those 2 lights. And numbers 9, 10 and 11 are all in that one patch of light down the end down there. So I'll quickly set the scene again, and then I'm going to try and interpret some of these footprints for you and what we think happened here. So, as I said, out to my left, out past the cafeteria, out past the caretaker's cottage, we've got that open temperate forest off in the distance. Out towards the back right of the building, we've got that lake, so lots of fresh water. In between, we've got this nice big muddy area. As I said, there would have been moving water flowing through here at times. We've got a bit of a drainage channel, a small creek. Our indicators of that are these lines that are running through here. Those are branch drag marks. So the water would have been flowing from left to right down towards the lake, and those branches have floated in that water and dragged along the bottom as they've floated down towards the lake and left those lines in the rock here. They predate our dinosaurs running through because some of the dinosaur footprints are on top of those drag marks. So what we are seeing here is that our big meat-eating dinosaur is running towards the lake. And then all of our smaller dinosaurs are running that direction, which is straight towards the cover of the forest, because that's where they're hopefully going to be able to hide and not get eaten by this larger carnivorous dinosaur. So I'm going to interpret the bigger dinosaur's footprints a little bit for you now. Some of the things we look out for that give us an indicator of how Banjo is adjusting his footing. I've called him Banjo. We don't know with 100% certainty that this particular dinosaur is an Australovenator wintonensis, or Banjo, but he is definitely the best candidate that we have for these footprints. He's not a very big dinosaur. He's only about 1.6 meters tall at the hip, about 5 meters long, but he has got massive feet, and his feet fit really nicely into these footprints here. So for the rest of this interpretation, I am going to assume that these big predators' footprints were made by Banjo, because that means that we can get an idea of things like his speed. So based off Banjo's height and the distance between the footprints here, this dinosaur was running at about 18 kilometers per hour. His top speed is about 30. So he's not at top speed yet, but he's definitely running through here. You may also notice with the first 6 footprints, they're in a straight line. They just go straight, 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 straight. They are left, right footprints. But this big dinosaur runs a bit like what we think emus run like, and that is with one foot in front of the other. If you've ever seen an emu try and turn a corner sharply while it's running, they tend to trip themselves up and they will fall and tumble. We think Banjo would have been quite similar. So if he's going to run straight this way and then turn right towards all the smaller dinosaurs over at the lake, he needs to adjust his footing to be able to make that turn and make a big gradual bend rather than a sharp turn all of a sudden, or he's going to fall over. So I'm going to interpret a few of the footprints a bit further along, some of the things we can point out that give us an idea of how he might be behaving. So I'm going to head along to footprint number 6. You're welcome to head around this side a little bit if you can as well, because I'm going to be pointing at footprints all the way to number 11, which is the final one down the very end down there. Alright, so I am going to start out with footprint number 6, which is the one I'm circling with the green laser pointer right now. At this footprint, we know that up until this point, he has been running in a straight line. It's at this one we think he adjusts his footing to start making his turn. Because what we see on the left side of it is there is mud pushed up, and then the next footprint is out wider. So what we think has happened there, this is a right footprint, number 6, and he has twisted his foot in the mud to adjust his footing to then jump out a bit wider and adjust his stride. Because he's twisted his foot, that's why that mud is pushed up on the left-hand side of footprint number 6 there. You then see he's out wider, he then starts his big turn towards the smaller dinosaurs at the lake. So we've got numbers 9, 10, and 11. So with those final 3 footprints, with those final 3 footprints, what we see is that we have now lost the heel impression. We're only seeing the toes. He's also shortened his stride, so his step has gotten shorter. So we think he is trying to turn towards the smaller dinosaurs at the lake about as sharply as he can by digging his toes in and shortening his step. Turning as tightly as he can. There's my elbow on the top. So, that's what we think is happening. In footprint number 11, you can see at the back of that, there is mud pushed up. That's where we think Banjo might have picked out which particular smaller dinosaur he wants for dinner that night, and he's accelerating, he's pushing off. So that mud is pushed up at the back of the footprint. As I said, he's got another 12 kilometers per hour he can run on top of what he's already running up to this point. After footprint number 11, we don't know what happens. We don't have any more footprints. They have eroded away with the side of the hill here. It might be he caught his dinner. It might be he missed out and has gone hungry that particular night. There is even the possibility that this big dinosaur here did not cause all of the smaller ones to stampede.
Wow. is the actual site that's covered and preserved. Well, here we are at the next leg of our dinosaur trail at the Huengdon Discovery Centre in Huengdon. We are about to go in and see what it's all about, so we'll let you know. So here we are in Richmond. This is the last leg on our dinosaur trail of what we've been doing of Outback Queensland. We are on Kronosaurus Corner, the home of affectionately named Penny, the amphibious dinosaur of the remains that were found in this area probably 98 odd million years ago. We haven't gone in yet to confirm any of that information, but looking forward to going in and seeing what we can find of this last little bit. So we shall let you know how we go. Thanks. And through these doors is Penny. Wow. That is Penny. Oh my god, it's almost totally intact.
At least I found a whole lot.
The whole lot they found. Wow. That is pretty cool. Look at the snout on that. Thank God we don't have these creatures. The seas are scary enough nowadays. How close to Richmond was Penny found? Well, look at those teeth.